Baby, finally I found my true love, not in fairy tales, but in real moments shared quietly. Baby, finally I found my true love, in the way you listen, without interrupting, without judging me. Baby, finally I found my true love, in your patience, when my moods change, when my fears rise. Baby, finally I found my true love, in your honesty, so calm and clear, never confusing. Baby, finally I found my true love, in your presence, that feels like home, even in silence. Baby, finally I found my true love, not perfect, but perfectly real, perfectly human. Baby, finally I found my true love, in your respect for my feelings, for my boundaries. Baby, finally I found my true love, in how you stay, even when things are not easy. Baby, finally I found my true love, in your loyalty that never needed loud promises. Baby, finally I found my true love, in small gestures that speak louder than words. Baby, finally I found my true love, in your smile that calms storms inside my heart. Baby, finally I found my true love, in your support when I doubt myself, when I fall. Baby, finally I found my true love, in your understanding when I struggle to explain pain. Baby, finally I found my true love, in the way you trust, without suspicion, without control. Baby, finally I found my true love, in your maturity that chooses peace over ego. Baby, finally I found my true love, in how you grow with me, not against me. Baby, finally I found my true love, in your consistency, same care, every day. Baby, finally I found my true love, in your effort that never feels forced, never temporary. Baby, finally I found my true love, in the safety of being myself without pretending. Baby, finally I found my true love, in the way you heal parts of me I hid deeply. Baby, finally I found my true love, in your laughter that brings light to heavy days. Baby, finally I found my true love, in your calm voice that reassures my anxious heart. Baby, finally I found my true love, in your dreams that include me naturally. Baby, finally I found my true love, in your actions that match your words every time. Baby, finally I found my true love, in the future I can imagine without fear. Baby, finally I found my true love, not because you changed me, but because you accepted me as I am. Baby, finally I found my true love, in the peace that replaced chaos inside my soul. Baby, finally I found my true love, and this time I know clearly this is real. Baby, finally I found my true love, and it feels different now, not rushed, not uncertain. Baby, finally I found my true love, because my heart feels safe, not anxious, not afraid anymore. Baby, finally I found my true love. With you I don't pretend, I don't hide, I don't explain myself twice. Baby, finally I found my true love. You understand my silence better than my words, better than my explanations. Baby, Finally, I found my true love. You don't compete with me. You walk beside me at the same pace, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You don't try changing me. You help me grow naturally, baby. Finally, I found my true love. With you, love feels calm, not chaotic, not draining, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You choose communication over misunderstanding every single time, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You protect my heart, even when I am not around, even in my absence, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You respect my emotions, even when they don't make sense to the world, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You don't disappear. When things get hard, you stay, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You face problems instead of running, instead of blaming, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You give reassurance without me asking, without me begging, baby. Finally, I found my true love. Your loyalty is quiet, but powerful, unshakable, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You don't make promises, you become them through actions, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You bring stability where I once had chaos and fear, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You make future plans with confidence, with clarity, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You don't flirt with uncertainty. You choose me every day, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You hold my hand, not to control, but to support, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You listen fully, even when tired, even when busy, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You apologize sincerely when wrong, without ego, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You forgive genuinely, without reminding, without weaponizing past, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You understand love is teamwork, not competition, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You let me be vulnerable without using it against me. Ever, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You make me believe that healthy love is possible, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You encourage my dreams instead of doubting them, instead of limiting me, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You stand proud, calling me yours without hesitation, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You don't seek attention from others, you value commitment, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You don't play games, you play life with honesty, baby. Finally, I found my true love. You don't test